Hey guys, I got another build for you today. Yeah, there we go. Topple. Oh my god, dude. This one is only possible now because of the recent update that came out. Unarmed strikes were not working with Symbiotic Entity, but that has been fixed. So yeah, this is a Spores Druid Open Hand Monk multi-class. This is highly inspired by Colby from D4 Deepdive's video on this same build basically, but for 5e, with Baldur's Gate 3, you know, having different mechanics, also having a level 12 level cap and tons of different gear options. I made it quite different than that video, and I'm going to show you the build breakdown. I'm going to start with the 1 to 12 build, and then after that I'm going to go over the gear I picked and some of the reasons why and how it all works, and then afterwards we're going to show you the build in action. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the level up. Okay guys, as you can see, we're going fighter for the first level. We're going heavy armor monk, which is unorthodox typically. That being said, we're going for the defense fighting style and going for high strength, high dex. I have a thing that will fix this con issue with the gear. Wisdom, keep it, you know, as high as you can. And yeah, we got the high strength, high dex, decent wisdom. Level 2, I'm not going level 2 fighter. You could totally go level 2 fighter if you make this build. The only reason why is I'm trying to get as much Symbiotic Entity extra hit points as possible. If you want to go 2 levels of fighter to get action surge, then take a level out of druid. But I'm not going to do that myself. I'm going monk. Monk level 2. At monk level 3, we pick Way of the Open Hand. Again, though, you could pick any of them. Way of the Open Hand is just what I think is best, personally, for this build. For your first feat, go 2 in strength. And then level 5, we go monk. And this is where the build can go into multiple different ways. I'll explain why I'm going level 6 monk though. I'm going level 6 monk because I'm trying to add as much damage per punch as possible. And Open Hand Monk subclass feature allows you to add 3 to 6 necrotic, psychic, or radiant damage to your unarmed attacks. And you also get a way to get ki back and a little bit of healing. Also, this is the level that your unarmed strikes count as magical, so that is important. This is where I switched to druid. I would go for Thorn Whip personally and Guidance. Those are pretty useful. Spells, I would probably go for Healing Word, Thunder Wave, Fairy Fire, all really good spells. Pick your favorite though. Then we're going Circle of Spores. Normally I'd go for Long Strider if I didn't have another party member that had it, but I'm not going for that on this build, and you'll learn why in a bit. You can always use spike growth, and then you can use your pushing attack to push them into the spike growth, and that's really effective. Also, if you're in an even more cramped space, Moonbeam can be pretty effective. I mess with Moonbeam a little bit. Also, because you only have 6 levels in Monk, you don't have that many key points. So this build is mostly about getting as much damage as possible within your regular hits and your bonus action and arm strike that you get even without key points. So yeah, anyway. Okay, so this is a very important feat that you need to take to make this build work, and this is the reason why we're going high into strength. So Tavern Brawler, when you make an unarmed attack as an improvised weapon or throwing something, your strength modifier is added twice to the damage and attack rolls. So your to hit is going to go up significantly and your damage is going to go up significantly. All right, and then we get 3rd level spells also, which is nice. I usually pick like Call Lightning and Plant Growth. I feel like those are really good spells, so. Alright, if you don't want gear spoilers, this is your chance to get off the video, but I'm going to show you the gear now, and this gear is really transformative in this build. It really makes it unique and very different from 5e, and you'll start to understand why I picked fighter. So I wanted heavy armor proficiency. The main reason why is when I use Symbiotic Entity, this right here, it gives me temporary hit points. It gives you 4 per druid level. And while you have these temporary hit points, you do 1d6 necrotic damage on all your unarmed attacks, which adds up when you're doing a bunch of unarmed attacks all the time. And my goal was to keep those hit points as much as possible, as long as possible. So I decided I was going to do that in 2 ways, getting a high AC, but also this armor. This armor is so good, so so good. It literally makes you like a raging barbarian without raging. So you can still cast spells. Yes, so all incoming damage is reduced by 2. You gain resistance and blade ward. So you get a d4 added to all your saving throws, and you are resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. And yes, that also is magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. So yes, one of the downsides of this is you don't get some of the monk abilities because you're wearing armor. For example, unarmored movement, your movement speed increases by 15 while you're not wearing armor or using a shield. I counteracted that with another item, so we'll get to that in a bit. But also, not only that, this cloak of displacement makes it so at the beginning of combat, enemies are attacking you at disadvantage, and it only goes away once you get hit. Also, then I have this shapeshifter hat. This just makes it so you have a third wild shape per short rest. So if you run out of symbiotic entity hit points, you can just cast symbiotic entity again. And as you saw in the stats, I had a 8 con. That's because I have the amulet of greater health, which gets my con to 23. So that really helps with the stat distribution. Now, these are the gloves that I'm going with. Gloves of soul catching. These are really good. They're basically the best monk gloves in the game. Your unarmed attacks deal additional 1d10 force damage, which is really good. But also, you regain 10 hit points on an unarmed hit, or you may forego healing to gain advantage on attack rolls and saving throws until the end of your next turn. It also gives you +2 constitution, but that doesn't do anything for us because of the amulet. There is an alternative to this though. If you want to do like stunning strikes and you want to do those kind of abilities more, or you want to cast spells more, I would, instead of doing 20 strength, I would put on the gauntlets of Hill Giant strength, which gives you a 23 strength, and then put all those ability score improvements into wisdom. That's gonna make your stuns land way more often. But again, this build is more about damage per punch, so that's why we didn't go that route. And the 1d10 force damage per hit is really good. Now the boots. This is what helps us out with the movement speed that we lost. So you gain freedom of movement, which movement speed can't be reduced by difficult terrain, spells, or magical effects. You can't be paralyzed or restrained. That's really good. Also, you can combo this with plant growth. You can put plant growth on the ground, and then all your enemies will barely be able to move, and then you can run around and attack them freely. Then long strider, which increases your movement speed by 10. So that counteracts the majority of that heavy armor movement speed thing. Then we got this shield. Honestly, the main good thing about it is that it is a shield that is +3 armor class, and we're trying to be as tanky as possible to keep those temporary hit points on. But you also get advantage on saving throws. You also get reflective shield. I had this in my starting builds as well. This shield's just amazing. It's really good. You can use any other shield though, honestly, but yeah, I just feel like it's great. Then this bow. Okay, so in my starting build, I had this legendary bow, and it has the haste spell on it. The thing is, I'm not going to be attacking with a bow very often on this character, so I decided to go with this bow. This bow also has the haste spell on it, but it also gives you resistance to the 2 most common elemental damage types, fire and cold damage. So now you're resistant to slashing, piercing, bludgeoning, fire, and cold damage, and you're not a barbarian, you're not raging. Then I got the Ring of Regeneration, gives you some passive healing, and Killer's Sweetheart. You can go with another ring if you want though. This is just what I thought would be pretty good. So yeah, when you kill a creature, your next attack roll will be a critical hit. So yeah, pretty cool build. I really like it. Oh yeah, just to show you. So unarmed strike, 13 to 32 damage. Flurry of blows, 26 to 64 damage. I'm gonna probably put this in the thumbnail. Oh, you know what? I forgot to add this. Yeah, that's a bit more now. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit more. Yeah, another thing that I forgot to mention is you need to go in passives, and you need to select the damage type for that level 6 open hand monk ability. I am going with Radiant, just because there's almost nothing that's resistant to radiant damage. Also, so when you guys see the build in action, you can see the damage numbers a little more clearly. All right, let's go to the build in action. All right, guys. So the audio was a bit bugged here, so I'm just gonna talk over this. We get in first round of combat. I cast haste before I started combat, and then I got in some punches and crazy damage here. Like, oh my gosh. We destroy this guy in 1 round. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's hit this one. Woo! Okay, yeah. Let's go for a third hit. Okay, she's dead. Okay, and let's go with Flurry of Blows Topple. Oh, it doesn't matter because he's dead. This is another great thing about being a monk. I can deflect missiles as a reaction and throw it back, and this is really cool. When I throw it back, all the stuff that applies to my unarmed strikes also apply to deflect missiles damage. See? Let's topple this one. Oh my god. Wow. Damn, dude. That's crazy. One thing you'll notice here is I still have most of my temporary hit points. I think I took a total of like 2 or 3 damage that whole combat. There we go. Okay. There we go. Let's get this. Look at this guy. They all missed. Yeah, he's super dead. I just want to see how many things I can attack at once. Holy shit. Okay. Nice, nice. Okay, that was good. Topple. Oh my god, dude. Crazy damage. Hope you guys enjoyed that build. I'm gonna have more builds coming soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like it. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And I'm gonna have a will build coming next, so watch out for that and have a great day. Peace.